I remember because like it was like bikers all the time. You know what I mean? And it was pretty much like we got to do whatever we wanted to do. And we had like so many uncles that weren't actually uncles, but
Yeah.
uncle this guy from this club and uncle that guy from that club, and so they were always buying us stuff and bringing stuff and doing stuff for us and everything like that. Then I remember my dad's best friend, he came home from Vietnam. And when he came home from Vietnam, I don't even think they even knew each other
Okay.
at this point. And then somebody had said, "Hey, this brother just came back from Vietnam, and somebody needs to pick him up." Well, then when my dad picked him up, they hit it off right off the bat.
Okay.
And so at that point, he didn't really want to be a part of the biker scene too much anymore. Like, not the biker look. He wanted to be a part of the scene, but not the look.
Okay.
He wanted to be a hitman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so yeah. So he was an interesting character, and I remember we were at his house, his girlfriend's house, one night, and I was probably 4 or 5 years old. I was young, and I remember that because they would, all right, all the kids, time to go to bed, and they'd stick you in one room, and so we went into the one room, and I heard arguing, and I was always one that stayed up late, so I was like inquisitive, so I went out there and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And I remember walking out, and this guy had a hold of my dad's best friend's girlfriend,
Oh, wow.
and he had a knife in his hand. And I looked, like, when I was coming out of the hallway, and I looked across the room, and I seen my dad's friend with a gun in his hand.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then it was a 44 Magnum, so like this explosion went off, and it was deafening, especially inside of a house.
Yeah.
And he shot this guy and killed him right there on the spot.
Wow.
And so that was my first, witness to a murder. And
And you were how old when this
I was
happened?
about 4 or 5 years
Wow.
old. I was young. I remember I was young.
But I mean, you still remember it though.
Oh yeah, it was very, traumatizing.
Yeah.
I was like, you hear arguing, because like in those days, my parents argued a lot and they fought a lot. And
Yeah.
so like you would hear these things, and then you just, like go to see, is it him and his wife, or my mom and my dad, or
Yeah.
what's going on? And then, you see all this take place, and I just was like in shock.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
Turned around, went right back to the room.
as a child, you don't know how to react to any of that.
Exactly. And then they came and they closed the door, and then
So you saw the guy get shot though.
yeah, I saw him get shot.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I remembered that my mom came and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And she closed the door, and I just kept hearing, "The cops are coming. The cops are coming. We have to do something." And I looked out, and I could see my dad and his friend putting this guy in a closet in the back room.
Whoa.
And I was just like,
What's going on?
"Oh my God." That's when I think that's when it kind of hit me that this guy's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he's injured or he's done. I mean, he's gone. And
Wow.
so then I was like, whoa. And I just went in the room, and I was quiet for the rest of the night. And then the cops came and they arrested everybody. And
Did they found the guy though?
oh yeah, I mean, yeah, because it was a duplex.
Okay.
So the neighbors were like,
Hey, those are loud
the
gunshots.
gunshot was from next door. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And yeah, so that was my first like experience with extreme violence and
Mhm.
all that.
Wow. That's incredible.
That was,
That's-
yeah. And it's like I was a kid.